Right, well, as I've been uploading that video that I've made this morning for Wolves Wednesday, Wolves have just announced the appointment of Nuno Espirito Santo. I'm pretty excited, to be honest.
Hello and welcome to the 1st of December and this month-long retrospective look at Nuno's time at Wolverhampton Wanderers. And today we're going right back to the beginning. We're going to day one, the first day, as he kept referencing in his press conference, which I've just watched back. And that's the first day, the first press conference where Nuno was announced as the Wolves manager, and looking slightly before that as well, because we're going to start off by looking at Paul Lambert's last game in charge of Wolves, which is against Preston North End, in front of I was going to say capacity, but in front of a attendance of 20,163, which I think is another key point to make if you consider how much we've then progressed in terms of the average attendance now under Nuno in the Premier League. Yes, this was a team that was 15th in the Championship and a team that was not playing particularly attractive football or good football. But Wolves lined up as follows: Harry Burgoyne in goal, Connor Cody at right back, Danny Bart and Courtney Hawes in the centre back positions, Silvio at left back, David Edwards and Romain Saiss, the only survivor, I think, from this team to the current day, apart from Cody, of course, sorry. Andy Weimann, Enna Bakare, Graham and Nuadiko. The subs were Richard Stearman, George Saville, Mason, Evans, Iorfa, Lonergan and Bodvarsson, and Wolves ran out 1-0 winners after a first minute goal from Danny Bart. But there was a lot of turbulence then in the weeks after that game. Paul Lambert was given a vote of confidence by Jeff Shee, and then sometime later he appeared on Sky Sports News and said that he wasn't sure whether he was staying or not, which was peculiar for Wolves to be involved in something like that. So on the 1st of June 2017, Nuno was announced as the Wolves manager. He'd been manager of Rio Ave, Valencia and Porto in his career at that point. And I remember on that day, Wolves fans being very, very excited about the prospect of this very, very high-profile manager coming into our club, and rightly so, I think, in hindsight. But he was very clear with his message on the first day, and those of us who followed the Wolves over the last 2 or 3 years know that that message has not changed in the slightest. He's been consistent from day one, and when you go back and watch that first interview, it's very clear that he had already his sights set on what he wanted to achieve at Wolves, and that was to improve the players that he had at his disposal, which he did do. If you look at the players that were involved in that promotion season, Danny Bart and Connor Cody, Matt Doherty were already at the club. Players like, and the way that he changed Connor Cody from being this utility player that could play at right back or could play midfield, and said, right, you are my sweeper, you're the man to play that important role in the middle of a back three. And Matt Doherty, his transformation from a lazy looking right back to one of the best right backs in the Premier League in 2 years, I think is incredible. I think he needs huge kudos for that. So he was asked, what are you going to bring to the club? And he said commitment, hard work, every day, and just improving every day. And I think that's something that all of us can look at and try and do in our lives as well. But he was also very humble, which is another part of his character that we all know and love, in that he was saying he was just the face of Wolves, and there were a huge team behind him doing all sorts of different jobs, which he was just the face of. And he was very keen to add to emphasise that in that first interview with Mikey Burrows. But just watching those videos, the main thing that comes across for me is the improvement in the whole club. You look at the videos and you look at the training facilities that are there and the press conference room, and all things like that have just gone from being 15th in the table, Championship level, to being Premier League quality in all aspects of the club. And that's all down to Nuno, really, and his hard work and not throwing everything out the window straight away, being patient and improving players that we had at that point. Don't forget as well, that season under Paul Lambert, we'd seen the emergence of Morgan Gibbs-White and Conor Ronan, who stayed at the club for a little while. Conor Ronan did, but Gibbs-White is still part of the squad at the moment. So yeah, the project as well was a huge draw for Nuno. Apparently he was very, very interested in coming to Wolves, and almost like Football Manager, having a blank canvas and a team to build in his image and a squad to build in his image, and he's done that superbly. So Great to look back to day one. Tomorrow we're going to look forward. We're going to see, we're going in chronological order, by the way, so see if you can guess what comes next. Let me know in the comments down below your memories of that first press conference day and your thoughts from 2017, June 2017. Were you excited? Were you nervous? Because I know a lot of people did think he was going to be another Zenga, and that Fosun, well, it was, if you look back and think back to that moment, it was very, very touch and go for Fosun, because they'd had a turbulent first year where they'd wanted to get Julian Lopetegui in. He went to Spain, they panicked, they got rid of Jackie and they brought in Zenga, and then that didn't work, and then Lambert just about managed to keep us up in one of the poorest seasons as a Wolves fan that I've ever known. But anyway, drop a like on the video and see you back here again at 5 PM tomorrow for more Nuno content. Bye bye.